A young girl named Nora is shown at the beginning of the film recap climbing mountains with her father. Nora's father thinks differently than the world, that if he sees from the heart, things will seem different to them. If we see mountains, we will see things that are only in stories. Trolls are still present in the dark. They hide from the rest of the world. Nora's father told her a story many years ago, that there were 13 drunken trolls at the wedding. They were unconscious and time passed similarly. Sunlight fell on them and they turned into stones. Now they are in those mountain stones, but Nora feels that it is only a story because before her there were only mountains. Nora's father asks her to see from her heart and you will see trolls. Meanwhile, Nora sees a glimpse of trolls in the mountains. Trolls look like humans, but they were huge and not harmful to humans. The story moves on and now Nora has aged and is kicking around the place with her team. They didn't find any precious thing while digging. Her team dug the place for 6 months, but they did not find any huge thing there. The team leader signals to Nora that we should leave now. Nora still needs time because her father taught her to trust herself. She doesn't care about anyone and was digging. Then suddenly she finds something huge. On the other side, gunpowder was filling up in the mountains to be blasted because the station was built there. When the bombs went off there was a huge explosion, and when the workers moved in to check they saw something coming towards them. Workers fled in fear, and to find out about this matter, the military commander arranges a meeting to which Nora has been invited. Prime Minister's advisor welcomes Nora named Andreas. Nora sees video showing huge footprints, and the people sitting there believe it's going to be a huge thing or maybe it happened because of a storm. Nora clearly says that these are tracks, but no one took Nora's words seriously. Meanwhile, another girl comes and shows them a video where she sees a huge thing. Everyone is surprised and scared that what is this thing? After her, an old couple is shown enjoying their evening tea. The old man sees his dog constantly barking. Meanwhile, their house starts shaking and the couple moves underground to escape and everything is shaking. After a while they come out to find their house destroyed to know that Nora and Andreas have been sent to them. On the way, Andreas asks Nora about her father and she says that her mother died many years ago. But her father is alive and her father's thinking is different from this world. That's why he lives alone. Andreas tells Nora about himself, that he wanted to be a writer, but he could not be, and in talking they came upon the old couple. They meet a captain who tells them that someone came while crossing the stream and going far into the mountains. They found huge tracks at a distance of 3 kilometers and then the tracks disappeared. Nora arrives at the old couple and the old lady tells Nora that she heard a strange voice like someone crying and it was strange. But it suddenly disappeared, and how can this huge thing suddenly disappear? Hearing the lady, Nora reached her father with Andreas and the captain because her father had seen the mountains so closely. No one knows the mountains better than Nora's father. Nora reaches her father and there were many pictures of trolls in her house. Nora's father says that when the work was going on many years ago, something came from the mountains, but it was difficult to prove it. At that time the government erased all the evidence, but then Nora says that even today something came from the mountains. Her father had told her many thousands of years ago that trolls roamed freely, that if a human had a relationship with trolls, that a person was punished. Many years ago the trolls appeared and Nora's father discovered them. But Nora's father was declared insane and sent to a mental hospital. Later, Nora moves to that place with her father, and the tracks were removed from there and Nora's father stared at the stones. Nora was standing with the captain and Andreas was standing nearby watching his father. On it they said that your father does not look well and his mental state is not good. Nora also feels that her father is lost in the stories, so she goes to her father and tries to make him understand. He smells a strange smell and suddenly black clouds appear, but when he turns around, he sees an eye. In fact, there was a huge troll standing in front of them. The captain takes them all from there and from there they project this video on their camera to the military camp. No one believed it, and Nora's father kept talking about trolls, but no one believed his stories. That's why he was thrown out of there. Nora asks for time to understand everything, but the Prime Minister says we don't have much time for you to understand it all. We'll bide our time. But until you understand what it is, the thing will destroy us. The next task will be controlled by the military and whatever it is, it will be finished. Nora moves to the captain and asks him to take her with him and says I want to go with you, but he wasn't allowed. Taking 3 of them with them, even though they agree with Nora and the army tells them where the troll is. Later they all reach there and soldiers have been sent there and they have to wait for the troll. Here, Nora's father apologizes to her because he didn't spend much time with her. She spent a life she doesn't have in this world. Even her father was alive. But Nora says I'm not alone, my father is with me. A troll comes after him, but stops in his tracks as he realizes there are people around. and the captain at first gives the order to fire, but the troll is not impressed by the fire and begins to rage. It attacked them, causing many soldiers to quit, but Andreas was hiding behind a rock with Nora and her father. There was a soldier with them who was a Christian, and the troll ate the soldier while picking him up. Seeing this, Nora's father says that trolls recognize Christians and feel them. They then go in front of the troll and ask him to be calm and brave, then ask him to stop there. Surprisingly, the troll understood him and is calm. Meanwhile, a few soldiers attack the troll again and it goes berserk again, causing a few soldiers to put an end to it. Troll accidentally ends Nora's father. He expresses his sadness and leaves when he sees Nora's father. It was a strange thing, and Nora's father gets injured and counted his last breath, while he says royal, palace and house and dies after saying it. Nora lost her father and now she has none in this world. The next day, the captain tells Nora that there will be an air attack that will harm them. Nora starts looking for trolls and discovers that trolls don't like church bells. That's why they attack the church. Nora puts all those tracks forward and the captain also supported her. The commander gives Nora another chance while he thinks about what Nora said, because if the trolls can be stopped from being destroyed, that's a good thing. Nora's plan was to stop the troll from ringing church bells, and Nora's idea works. And when the troll hears the church bells, he could not bear them. It broke all the bells, and after that it went out of control when he heard the bells. Because of this, the child should have lost his life, but the troll saves the child and does not allow anything to happen to her. Everyone was surprised to see this, and then the troll sees Nora and then leaves. Marina's idea doesn't work, so she's kicked out of this mission, and the government is considering a missile attack on the troll. The city is relaxed because of this. They will take a lot of damage. It is followed by Andreas dropping Nora at home. Nora did not understand where the troll would move now. Here she remembers what her father, who took the name Royal Palace, said when he was dying, and Nora decides to go there. When he gets there, he meets the king's chief minister. Says that in ancient times it was believed that when a royal house is built on top of another king's house, it is a good omen. And he says that before the palace there was a house of trolls, and they were called the King of the Mountains. They don't like the church bells, so the king put an end to them all, leaving the boy alive. And the boy was sent into the darkness of the mountains while he frightened him so that he would die there. That's why the troll wants to come here when he woke up after years and wants to go back to his home. The minister shows him some troll skeletons in the basement, and when Nora shines a light on the skeleton, it turns to stone. Here he remembers the story. A story told by her father. What happened to the 13 trolls when the sunlight hit them? They turned to stone. In the stories it was written that light is their enemy. If a bright light falls on trolls, they turn to stone. Nora calls the captain and tells him her plan to finish off the troll so they don't take too much damage. He asks him to come to an open field and asks him to arrange a huge solar system. Later, Nora and Andreas place the boy's skeleton in their car. The boy the king sent to the cave because he scared him was a troll, so the giant troll chases them when he sees it, and they can take it to the open field. An announcement came over the radio that the missiles will be launched after a while, but Nora must stop these missiles for her plan to succeed. Andreas calls his companion to hack the system. She does the same and hacks the system. The rockets were stopped, and the captain also set the solar system. On the other side, Nora and Andreas stand in the way of the troll with the boy's skeleton. The troll moves behind them when he sees the skeleton, and Nora quickly drives her car. But when he suddenly stops the car, the skeleton falls. After him, the troll picks up the skeleton. Looking at him, he starts to cry, and Nora also felt his pain. The troll has no one in the world and he was alone. Meanwhile, the skeleton falls and breaks. Now raging and moving after Nora and Andreas, Nora was driving fast to escape the troll. They reached the field and the troll was about to hold them, but Nora and Andreas jumped out of their car. The captain in this field turns on the solar system. On the other hand, the missile system was found to be hacked in the military camp. They reactivate the system and the missiles have been fired as well. But when the commander discovers that the soldiers are there, he stops the rockets from being launched. When there was a lot of light falling on the troll in an open field, it starts screaming, and he gradually turned to stone because he felt pain. It cried while screaming, and then Nora realized that everyone was doing wrong. Their everything was captured upon their termination. Even though they were not dangerous to humans, they are created by nature and also have the right to remain alive, and shuts down the solar system and stands in front of the troll, asking the troll to leave. He says to leave and move far away and hide in the dark again. They will finish you off. The troll also understood what Nora was saying, but it was too late, and the troll was turning to stone. He became stone, and Nora feels bad that she couldn't save the troll. Well, the military camp team gets there and the prime minister tells Nora that her father's stories were true. Her father always told the truth. Andreas resigns from his job and says, "I want to be a writer." Andreas asks Nora if there are trolls in the mountains. Nora laughs and says anything can happen. The world is huge. That's how the movie recap ends.